プラトンの国家で読み解く2026年のアメリカ。大学生ゼミ討論、民主制は選手制を生むか。舞台某国立大学政治哲学演習のゼミ室。2026年5月上旬。午後4時過ぎ。窓から差し込む柔らかな光が古い木のテーブルを照らしている。国家岩波文庫とニュースのプリントアウトが散らばり、コーヒーの空カップが並ぶ。教授では、今日の本題は第8巻 566A 付近。ソクラテスが言う。民衆の擁護者が、服従しやすい群衆を完全に手中に収め、同胞の血を流すことをためらわなくなったとき、不浄な唇で同胞の血を味わいながら、その男の運命は、敵に殺されるか、人間から狼に代わって選手となるかのいずれかでなくてはならない。これを2026年のアメリカにどう読む？自由にどうぞ。エマ、哲学専攻3年ノートを指で叩きながら、私はストレートに当てはまると思います。トランプは、民衆の擁護者として選ばれた。反エリート、アメリカファースト。でも2月28日のハメネイ師殺害以降、完全に変わった。ネタニヤフに強く押されて、狼の血を舐めた瞬間、擁護者は選手へ変貌した。ミア・シャイマーも、バンブーズルドって言ってるし。支持率はもう34から 37% 台まで落ちてるんですよ。ライアン政治学3年元マガより少し苛立った口調でケントの辞任声明、読んだだろ。3月17日、イランは差し迫った脅威じゃなかったって。内部告発みたいなもんだ。あれ、プラトン的に言えば、まだポリスに理性の残滓が残ってる証拠じゃないか。軍の不満もすごいよ。特にカトリック系の兵士たち。アメリカのためなら死ねるけど、イスラエルのために死にたくないって。魂の三原理で言えば、気概、名誉が欲望に反旗を翻してる状態だろ。ノートに落書きしながら、少し声を落として、まあ、俺も同じ気持ちだけどな。信じてたものが、こんな形になるとは思わなかった。ソフィア、国際関係2年腕を組み、苦笑いしながら、二人とも遠よすぎて怖いんだけど、プラトンが紀元前380年に書いたポリスと、核兵器と SNS がある2026年のアメリカを、そんなにストレートに重ねていいのかな。狼の血って比喩も、ちょっと演劇的すぎない。実際の政策決定って、もっと官僚的で段階的なものだよ。でも、プラトンが怖いのは、そういう徐々に慣れていく過程なのかもね。選挙で、強力な指導者を、って叫んでた人たちが、今は戦争とインフレで苦しんでるの、皮肉すぎる。少し間を置いてあれ、私も結局プラトンで呼んじゃってる。嫌なんだけど、しっくりくるんだよね、これが。エマミを乗り出してでもソフィア、それこそプラトンの言う、過剰じゃない。民主制の自由を過剰に追い求めた結果、強力な擁護者を求め、そしてその擁護者が血を舐める。支持率の急落は、民衆がようやく、不自由に気づき始めたサインだと思う。ソフィア、スマホをスクロールしながら、待って、最近ジェフリー、サックス教授の話、見た。彼、トランプをこう言ってるんだよ。
Donald Trump is the worst president in U.S. history. He is a person with a severe character disorder, and he is a danger to the world.
それに、
He is remarkably ignorant of the basic facts of the world economy, of world geography, and of world history. It is a very dangerous combination when an ignorant person has so much power.
で、しかも、
Trump has been following a script written by Benjamin Netanyahu. It is a policy based on lies, and it is a policy that is leading us toward a disastrous war.
だって、プラトン的に見たら、まさに理性が完全に欠落して、欲望だけが暴走してる魂の状態だよね。無知な擁護者が権力を握ると、ポリス全体が破滅に向かうって警告そのもの。ライアン、肩をすくめてただ、完全な選手制にはまだなってないよ。議会もあるし、中間選挙もある。下等制の残滓、軍産複合体やロビーが民主制を食い破ってる段階だろ。ソフィア、さらに続けて、それに、MIT のセオドア、ポストル教授もやばいこと言ってる。ネタニヤフを、ホミシダルマニアック、殺人狂って呼んで、 ミサイル防衛の専門家として、この戦争は欺瞞の上に成り立ってるって指摘してるの。イラン攻撃後の動画でも、米イスラエルのミサイル防衛が機能してない実態を暴いてる。プラトンで言うなら、選手は自分自身も欲望の奴隷になる。ここではトランプがネタニヤフの台本に載せられて、ポリス、アメリカの魂を狂わせてるんじゃないかって。教授、静かにページをめくりながら、ところで、プラトンは第8巻で、民主制の父親、つまり下等制の金持ちたちが、民衆を軽蔑しすぎたことが崩壊の起点だと言っている。2026年のアメリカで、その、軽蔑した父親とは誰なのか。君たちはどう思う？この、老化した擁護者の時代に、理性を取り戻す道は、まだ残っているのか。ゼミ室に短い沈黙。ライアンが何か言いかけてやめ、ソフィアは窓の外を見る。エマはページをめくるが、どの箇所か決められない。外ではキャンパスの桜が、すでに散り始めていた。
Well, then, today's main topic is around Book 8, 566a. Socrates says, "When the champion of the people, having a multitude highly submissive to him, does not hesitate to shed the blood of his kin, tasting the blood of his kin with unholy lips, the fate of such a man is either to be killed by his enemies or to turn from a man into a wolf and become a tyrant." How do we read this in the context of the 2026 United States? Feel free to share your thoughts. Emma, a third-year philosophy major, tapping her notebook with her finger. I think it applies straightforwardly. Trump was elected as the champion of the people, anti-elite, America first. But after the assassination of Ayatollah Khamenei on February 28th, things completely changed. The moment he succumbed to strong pressure from Netanyahu and tasted the blood of the wolf, the champion transformed into a tyrant. Even Mearsheimer says he was bamboozled. His approval ratings have already dropped to the 34 to 37% range. Ryan, a third-year political science major, former MAGA leaner, with a slightly irritated tone. Did you read Joe Kent's resignation statement? On March 17th, he said, Iran was not an imminent threat. It was basically whistleblowing. In Platonic terms, isn't that proof that a remnant of reason still exists within the polis? The dissatisfaction within the military is massive too, especially among Catholic soldiers. They're saying, I'd die for America, but I don't want to die for Israel. Speaking of the tripartite theory of the soul, this is a state where spiritedness, honor, is rebelling against appetite, right? Doodling in his notebook, lowering his voice slightly. Well, I feel the same way. I never thought the things I believed in would turn out like this. Sophia, a second-year international relations major, crossing her arms with a wry smile. You two are so smart, it's intimidating. But can we really overlay Plato's Polace, written in 380 BC, to the 2026 US with nuclear weapons and social media? Isn't the wolf's blood metaphor a bit too theatrical? Real policymaking is much more bureaucratic and incremental. But maybe what's scary about Plato is exactly that process of gradually getting used to it. It's so ironic that the people who were screaming for a strong leader during the elections are now suffering from war and inflation. Pausing slightly. Wait, I'm reading it through Plato in the end, too. I hate to admit it, but it just makes sense. Emma, leaning forward. But Sophia, isn't that exactly what Plato calls excess? As a result of excessively pursuing the freedom of democracy, they sought a powerful champion, and then that champion tasted blood. I think the sudden drop in his approval rating is a sign that the people are finally starting to realize their lack of freedom. Sophia, scrolling on her smartphone. Wait, did you see what Professor Jeffrey Sachs said recently? He describes Trump like this. Donald Trump is the worst president in U.S. history. He is a person with a severe character disorder, and he is a danger to the world. And also, he has been following a script written by Benjamin Netanyahu. It is a policy based on lies, and it is a policy that is leading us towards a disastrous war. In Platonic terms, this is exactly the state of a soul where reason is entirely absent and appetite is running rampant. It's the very warning that when an ignorant champion seizes power, the entire polis heads towards ruin. Ryan, shrugging. But it hasn't become a complete tyranny yet. We still have Congress and the midterm elections. It's at the stage where the remnants of oligarchy, the military-industrial complex and lobbies, are tearing through the democracy, right? Sophia, continuing. Plus, MIT professor Theodore Postel is saying some alarming things. He calls Netanyahu a homicidal maniac, and as an expert in missile defense, points out that this war is built on deception. In a video following the attack on Iran, he exposed the reality that U.S. and Israeli missile defenses are not functioning. To use Plato's terms, the tyrant becomes a slave to his own desires. Here, Trump is being played by Netanyahu's script and perhaps driving the soul of the polis, America, into madness. Professor, quietly turning a page. By the way, Plato says in Book 8 that the starting point of the collapse was that the fathers of democracy, that is, the wealthy oligarchs, despised the people too much. In the America of 2026, who are those fathers despising? What do you all think? In this era of the wolf-turned champion, is there still a path left to regain reason? A brief silence falls over the seminar room. Ryan starts to say something but stops, while Sophia looks out the window. Emma turns a page, unable to decide which section to read. Outside, the cherry blossoms on campus have already begun to fall.